Thanks very much indeed. Look, it's really like a scene from TV show The Apprentice, or maybe, perhaps, it's the movie Groundhog Day. Donald Trump faces the ultimate showdown again in his bid to overhaul US healthcare. It's going to be a face-off with his own party and Wall Street, trying to push through a new healthcare bill later on Friday, having, of course, failed to do so on Thursday. Of course, it is a big test for the US President's ability to get through other pro-business policies. Here's the scale of the expectation that has built up over the last few months, really. $2.2 trillion has been added to the value of US shares since Trump was elected. It's a rally of historic proportions. If you take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, it has soared since the election in November. As of the start of this week, it had gone up 14% since the US election. Financial sector's been the biggest winner. It's done even better because the president has promised to review strict laws brought in after the financial crisis. You'll notice in all this the emphasis on being a businessman or business-friendly policies. This debate has really highlighted the two Trumps, the businessman and the politician. What is the difference between the two? Do they work together? Chris Roebuck is the visiting professor of transformational leadership at Cass Business School in London. They've always said, so many people have said, I've heard it said countless times, what Washington needs, or what Westminster needs, is a businessman to take charge. They'll sort it out. He's not, as I may be eating my words tomorrow, but he's not managing to do it. Why?
The problem is that actually running a government through democratically elected people is not the same as running a business. You know, it's like herding cats. And as he has seen, even if the cats are in your own party, they do tend to go in different directions. The other thing we need to think about quite clearly with Trump is not a businessman within the mould of Rex Tillerson. So he's not led as a chief executive a large global, where he is accountable to investors, where he is a custodian of a brand that continues after him. Trump has set up his own business with him as the brand. He's only been accountable to himself and his family, and therefore he's been able over the years to get into the habit of doing a few things that perhaps would not be acceptable within a normal business world.
So you're not counting out business people, I say that advisedly, business people from being politicians. They can do it successfully, but they should be more in the mould of Tillerson, you're saying, is that what you're saying?
They have to
give me an idea of what he's like, what his qualities are.
Certainly, you have to understand that even in a big business, even if you're a chief executive, just because you send out an email, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. People have to be engaged, people have to be on board, people have to know what they're doing. Whereas within Trump's business, it's been possible for him to effectively send an edict down, this is what I want, if you don't like it, leave. So Tillerson has to run a large business on a consensual basis. Within a government, that's even more applicable because you have to get more parties together. So that's the challenge that Trump has. Changing behaviour from being a self-made businessman into more of a consensual governmental leader.
But he's a deal maker. He
Correct.
can do deals. He knows how to do
Absolutely.
that. Can he not make that work with Congress, with congressmen, congresswomen?
Fundamentally, one of the problems with political organisations and governments is as long as you do the process, irrespective of if it fails, people are happy. Obviously, a businessman needs a positive outcome, otherwise it's a failure and you have to be successful. The problem is that it's how you deliver that successful outcome. In Trump's world, it's been about double or quits. It's been about pushing people. It's been about...
And that's what he's offering now.
And that's what he's offering now. Whereas within the corporate world, the Tillerson world, the Richard Branson world, this is more about, okay, we have an impasse, we need to sit down and we need to work it out in a way that we can all sign up to it. That's his fundamental problem. He currently has a smaller constituency of people who support him than a constituency of people who don't. What he has to understand is, as a leader, as a minimum, he needs to have more people on his side than against him, and if possible, everybody on his side.
Always a difficult
We can
one.
hope.
We can hope. Chris, thanks so much. Chris Roebuck there. Do stay with us on BBC World News.